really hard to explain where I'm at. I feel like I've been run over by a truck. Like, my muscles are so locked and so tight and just hurt so much. And I just feel so heavy. And I think it's all catching up with me. Like, Friday morning, when it was all about to kick off, I could feel every part of me like, you know, but as soon as it kicked it off and my meds kicked in, and I realized that my truth was seen by someone who mattered, it's like all the fear, all the panic, all the self-loathing, all the shame, all the rage just got sucked out of me. And it made me feel really empowered, but I've also feel like I've had the life sucked out of me. And to a lot of people, it doesn't seem like a win to get to consent without admissions, but yes, it is. Like, do you know how traumatizing it would be to have to deal with people relentlessly coming at you to get to the end of it, and it makes no difference anyway, because if one person does the right thing, I'm going to do the right thing for that person. And part of doing the right thing for that person is doing the right thing by, the parent of that person. So, literally by association, I want to protect those two as I was originally anyway. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that it's okay what happened, and it certainly doesn't mean that I'm not hurting from it. I am still disgusted. I am still dealing with trauma and really awful things that I have had to live through the last few months. But the fact that it has stopped and I've had the right thing done and I've had it validated by important people and I've got some support in community, I have the strength to A, deal with it, B, be the better person in it, C, have the strength to learn from it and grow from it, because at my core, that's who I am. And I've explained so many times that I am my environment. People with complex trauma, we soak up everything. You want to talk about empaths taking on everyone's energy. It's a whole new level. And if we're around toxic darkness, we're going to be like in return, or we're going to be a puddle. We're going to be like or raging. Because that's going to be what happens to our nervous system when we're in that environment, when we're backed in a corner, when we aren't safe, when we're fighting for our lives. But as you've seen, look at the difference in me just by meeting this psychotherapist. Look at the difference in me just having someone, on the channel remind me of who I am inside. And it's having that good energy and those good people and those reminders that steer me back into, I'm not going to get sucked into this. I'm not going to stoop to that level. But I am not going to let the person who did it, who's responsible, get away with it. So it's about finding that balance, not all or nothing. And that's what I'm struggling with the most, because with my all or nothing, it's like I either go hard and it's like, I will fuck you up as hard, mate, or I just can't. And that's when people just keep walking over me and I never get up out of these situations because I'm too weak. And then that's like a magnet for these type, right? So it's about finding that balance. And now that I've got a voice and support, Sorry, there's this fly that keeps going. But see the difference? I can't hear the fly, I can only see it. When I can see it and hear it, it does a lot more to me, but also where my nervous system is at. I've been driving around the bush with just mild burning, mild tingling, occasional zaps, rather than just being set on fucking fire. You know what I mean? Like, the amount of anxiety and trauma and things that are in our system and how safe we feel determines how we see the world. It determines how we react in danger or conflict. It determines how our health will be at the end of it, you know? So when I got those orders, it was literally, I had just gotten a vehicle after not having one for 6 months, living in the forest through winter without running water or anything. So for those 6 months, I was hitchhiking, you know, and it would take 7 hours just to go and get a jerry can and a bag of groceries, and it was fucking me up. You know, and for the water, you know, I was doing periods where I had no toilet paper, no pads, no water. Do you know how hard that is out here with not a single human being that you can call and talk to, because I lost all my friends. Not a family member I could call and talk to, because at that time I had shut even my grandma out, and I'm only now trying to rekindle that with her. At that time, no support. This is the first time I've had real support since it happened, because I had emergency band-aid support to stop me taking my life while I was in Victoria, but I haven't had real support to get out of it. And the fact of the matter is, housing has shown me that I'm not going to be able to get a house because of my needs. I'll never be able to afford rent. When I arrived in Daylesford, I had a full-time job, a side gig. I had just finished talking to a bank fucking business loan manager, whatever, and had plans. I bought a caravan to go traveling to find where I could settle and purchase a fucking farm and settle down. I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to get myself a home. I can't live like this forever, and I don't know what that means. But, by having support in the community, I've been able to get the evidence together, which means I was able to show a lawyer, and what do you know? My truth has been seen and validated. I've had the laws explained to me, and now I know exactly what I need to do and how to proceed on actually getting my damage fixed from all of this, because I didn't want to go down the legal avenue with this in general. I wanted my truth out. I wanted the person responsible to see what it did to me and care enough to just do the right thing. But I didn't realize exactly what I was dealing with. And there are some people out there who just don't care, who don't care about the actions that they've done, the harm that they've caused. They will never be accountable or take responsibility, and those people are so dangerous. And that now has changed my view on how I'm going to handle this, because while I don't want to be someone who's fighting and battling, I'm not going to just carry on with my life while someone has done this to me and is going to be out there doing it to other people. So now that someone has done the right thing, I care greatly about doing the right thing about them, but they are connected to the person who did this. And I'm sorry, but there has to be some onus. You cannot expect to hurt someone this badly. You cannot expect to take away someone's future. You cannot expect to intentionally traumatize someone with things you know about them. You cannot expect to break laws. You cannot expect to cause all of this ongoing pain and suffering for someone for years and to just walk away when you've had the opportunity to do the right thing. You can see the damage. You can see the pain. You can see the loss. And there's not a spark of humanity or conscience in there that wants to be a good person, say sorry and fix it. So the two people responsible for me being in the situation I am today, I have now gotten crime reports ready. I now have the details on how I can submit those reports and where. I now have a case to make claims because I am a human being and I have a voice and I have a right to stand up to those who have hurt me, those who have wronged me, those who have taken from me. And I'm going to use my voice to keep exposing what's broken in the system, to keep advocating for people without a voice, to keep hounding the people in our system who are responsible, who are the ones who can help us but are choosing not to with their ignorance, hiding behind the "it's not my department" and all the black and white bullshit. I am going to use this opportunity now with my voice, my support, my journey, and my integrity to put this channel in a whole new direction and get myself, my life back. Get our country trauma aware. Provide a safe space for people to actually share their stories. To make that link between trauma and our broken system, which is what I've been wanting to do all along. But as you may have noticed, I was a little fucked up. I still am. It's going to be a very long time before I don't cry every day. It's going to be a very long time before I stop vomiting and having diarrhea frequently. It's going to be a very long time before these knees. Look at my knees. It's going to be a long time before I get my knees back. I spend more than half of my life on my knees, vomiting, hunched over in agony, hunched over trying to get warmth in front of a tiny heater, seizing, spasming, flapping around like a fucking lunatic. Sometimes I'm just down there crying and sobbing and sobbing and sobbing. So it is going to take a very long time. I'm not going to get over this anytime soon, because this has been 3 years on top of a lifetime. But what this is for me is my billionth fresh start. I'm getting up again. But this time, I'm doing it with a shift in my soul. I'm doing it with an entirely different spiritual lens. And I'm doing it with a different support and hope, because in the past I've been around all the same people who have no idea, people who are triggering me, traumatizing me, people who are making it worse and taking me in spirals and cycles, and then not handling me, and then abandon me when it's too much. And it's like, I've had time away in solitude. Like, even though I've been in this situation for 3 years, I've spent just under a year and a half in isolation, living alone in the trees, no friends, no support, no access to the, things in life for a good portion of that. And it was in that time that I've been able to reflect. I've been able to level up spiritually and understand my purpose in life, understand what's been holding me back, release a lot of my demons and toxicity that have been contributing to my rage or my inability to let go and fixate on what's hurting me. So I've had a lot of releases out here. I've had validation. I've had a lot of time with nature. I've had time to reflect. I've let go of a lot of toxicity. And it has given me the boost that I need at the right time as I get my voice, as I get my support, as I finally get access to start getting heating again. But winter's about to hit. I'm literally living on $280 a week because everything is going to having the car. And but I can't not have a car. So when you're surviving on a $550 a week pension and you're in a rural area surviving with diesel heating and a diesel vehicle on medication that's really expensive, not on the PBS, life's hard. And I've run out of things that I can sell because I had been selling all the things that I needed to live in here. And now I've just had to get a loan to borrow them. I've had to get a loan for a lawyer. So now I've just accumulated nearly 10 grand debt just in the last couple of months to have heating, to have a shower, to get my voice out in court, and to have my truth heard and be able to be where I am right now. But that's going on top of all these other debts so that I don't have the means to pay. So I have a lot to do. And like the psychotherapist said, I've got to put my mask on first, take care of myself in order to be able to help others. And that's where I'm at right now. I still haven't got the heating or the shower. You know, I'm still waiting. I've got to pick them up, set them up, which I don't have the brain capacity to do, to just sit down and read a manual. Like, so I've got a lot going on and I've got a lot to do. I still haven't shaved Phoebe. I need to do that before winter. But now's going to be a chance to be able to, because all the time I'm like all jittery. As soon as I go in there, she feels my energy and like hightails it out of there. And then I'm too dangerous to be clipping a rabbit with, you know, tissue paper skin. So this is my opportunity to have basic access to human necessities and to start proceeding legally down the right channels to get my damage fixed, to be able to get my life back on out of this and get a home, get out of homelessness for real, and to make the people accountable so that things like this don't happen again for other people. It's my opportunity to start actually rekindling my relationships with my pets, and it's my opportunity now to get the channel on track and start speaking to advocates here in Tasmania who can help get petitions started for us and really get this ball rolling. You know, we've got people on this channel who are in the system, who are advocates, who are specialists, who are in charge of policies, who are in charge of our life, and they care. That's why they're there. So, you know, even recently when I was talking to the lawyer, a comment was made about, you know, it's only a small channel. And I said it's quality, not quantity. It's about who's on it. It's about what it's doing and providing that safe space. And it hasn't been unsafe. It's been unsafe, and I want to get that back for us. So, moving forward, I'm not gonna be able to go straight into, you know, the channel. But I am going to be here rebuilding it, restructuring it, whilst also rebuilding me, restructuring me, and just trying to get us all back on track together. And I want to say thank you so much. Thank you to my supporters who are watching, the ones, you know, silently who know, who are living the same struggle as me, and to the ones who have reached out, especially to the couple who have been so supportive, and one in particular for bringing me back down to earth, reminding me who I am, but still not giving up as well, because it's really easy to just walk away when someone flips their lid and loses control of who they are inside, And I just think it's so amazing that someone was able to recognize that and still just be so beautiful and still stand there with me. And I want to say thank you so much. And it makes me more determined, to keep my moral compass in check, more determined to keep this on the right track, more determined to fight my fight with heart rather than the rage that's been consuming me for so long. So thank you all very much, and I look forward to doing this journey with you.